my personal awakening. That is what this video is going to cover. It's going to cover how I went from this guy who was jumping between different things and had no real idea of what he wanted to do. He just wanted to build a business and make money, to the man I am today. And it started here. It started in this video. This video takes you back to 2018, October. Still detailing cars, supercars and ordinary cars. Just detailing. That was what I was doing predominantly. But I'd started meditating. And October, November, December starts to kind of tail off a little bit for detailing, because people, there's road salt and all that sort of stuff, and people just aren't having it looked after as often as they would in the summer. So in those months there, I started to have a bit of downtime. And in that downtime, I found this video on YouTube by a guy called Lewis Howes. And his interview was with a man called Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I've spoken about this guy in one of my first videos about the influences of the Who that I designed. I designed a Who, and part of that Who was Dr. Joe Dispenza, and how I wanted parts of his character to be part of mine and what I do in my life. So I started meditating, and the meditations that this guy creates are half an hour, an hour and a half. And I'd never really meditated before. I'd maybe done Headspace or something for 5 minutes here and there. But I started to do it every single day. And what I found was that this weird, crazy stuff started happening. Like, I'd be lying meditating, and I'll just do it on the top of my bed. And I know you say you probably shouldn't do it on top of your bed because you'll fall asleep. But I was meditating around about 11 a.m. And I had to get done in the morning was done. And about 11 a.m, I sat down and started meditating. And I was starting to see the lights, and I was starting to, like, closed eyes. I was starting to see light, and I was starting to feel movement in my body. I was starting to feel things I've never felt before. And then I had this just mind-blowing experience. It was a week where this energy started moving through my body, and the only thing I can explain it to you like is it's almost like this, like, convulsing of your body. So the energy was just moving through my body, and I started to just experience synchronicities, and things happened that steered me right out of the direction that I had been going in into a totally new one. And at the time I had no idea that this is where I was headed, but I knew something different had to happen. And I was meeting people, and they're saying, you just look different, Ryan. There's something changed about you. And the only thing that had changed was I hadn't changed how I was eating, hadn't changed training, because at the time I wasn't really full on training. I was doing a lot of work, but not training. And this experience, like, I just started to feel pulled in a different direction. And that is where the birth of applying to study medicine began. And it was in the gym. I'd gone to the gym that week. And in the gym, I don't know why, but I always have my headphones in. And my headphones were in, but the music cut. And it was a place in the gym where there was no signal. And all that was left was this advert on the television to work in Pure Gym as a personal trainer. And then that happened again. 3 days later, in a different part of the gym, advert to become a personal trainer. Then I left the gym, and I'll always play an audiobook or music in the car when I am having something on. Sometimes I like to drive in silence and just have my thoughts with me, but more so now than back then. And what happened? A Pure Gym advert to become a personal trainer as part of the Pure Gym structure of business. So I was like, that's a message. I've got to get back in to personal training. I've got to get back into changing people's lives. I've got to get back in to using what I know to help other people. And that's what I did. And as I got back in to personal training, I understood that there was more that I can give. And at the time I thought the more I could give was to go and study medicine, to be a personal trainer, but also someone who can help people overcome illness and disease and help people get health back into their life. And I'm not a big fan of holistic, but holistic health, for want of a better word. So that's when I went down the track towards a student doctor. And that story is just the one that's about to unfold for you now. So nice and short today, but this was the awakening. It was meditation. It was experiencing things in my body and my mind that I'd never experienced with my eyes closed. It was these synchronicities, and then it led me to that place where I was back in personal training, and with the purpose of doing a little bit more than just personal training. I had no awareness that this, what we do now as a business, was even remotely what I was looking for, but I was walking in a direction. I had the faith that if I was just moving forward and taking the next step, it would all become clear. And it took a long while, but I'm here. And this is the start of where it gets exciting and interesting on my personal journey in this story. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.